Too loud.
Good afternoon, Lions. Bob Piper, would you please lead us in our prayer, please?
Our Father in heaven, we ask your blessing on this meeting that we can serve you and serve this community. We ask your blessing on any of those who are ill or not feeling well or can't be with us today. We just praise you for everything you've given us and ask your blessing on this meal and the work we do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And Lion Cheryl, will you lead us in a pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Lion David, would you lead us in song? Of thee I sing,
And where my fathers died, land of thy pilgrims pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
thank you, Lions. Lion Tamers, do we have any guests?
Acting President Sharon, fellow Lions and guests. We have two guests today. Well, hold on, let's go with Marilyn. You will be introducing one of the guests. Okay? You want to grab the mic?
Acting President Sharon, fellow Lions and guests, I'd like to introduce a visiting man who is looking at us and maybe enjoying one of these days. Gordon Briggs, right there.
And then George will introduce our guest speaker in a minute.
Hold on, we're not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're not finished.
I am so sorry.
I know you're anxious to be president. Don't push it, girl. Don't push
Okay, okay.
Erica Tornson has one guest for a final time, okay, I believe.
Yay, thank you for being here. Lion Steve, are we done? Lion Penny, would you like to give us our sunshine report, please?
Acting President Sharon, fellow Lions and guests. Last week I wasn't here, and thank you to those that filled in for me. I really appreciated it. And we have a card back here for Raylene Aguirre. She's got some medical issues, so feel free to sign that and encourage her so she's feeling better soon.
Thank you, Penny. Okay, and we're going to have a program change a little bit. We're going to go on with our guest speaker, and we'll be doing announcements and our tail twisting afterwards. So with that, here is Lion George.
So we get two programs today?
Thank you, Acting President Sharon. Fellow Lions and guests, yes, we do have something unique for our Tuesday or February programs this week, and that's a speaker at our February program this week. City Manager of Kelso, Mr. Andrew Hamilton. I worked with Andy back in the days when he was police chief a little bit. One thing that I remember about him was his reputation for integrity and credibility. Pretty hard to match that. And when he told me he had a conflict, he didn't say, "Am I coming, George?" He said, "Can I arrange to come speak early and I'll get to my other meeting and make arrangements to get there a little bit later." So that is what we're doing today. When I asked Andrew to send me an extensive bio for his introduction, He said that he's been with the city of Kelso for 37 years, 32 years as chief, and the remaining time as the city manager. I do know that the city of Kelso, city managers have a career path like NFL coaches, pretty brief sometimes. When you have a reputation like the city of Kelso has, for city managers who live out there, work out their career and retire, you get a lot of high-quality applicants. And I know Andy was in a very competitive field of applicants from around the country, not just the Northwest. He came out on top, and I think the council made an excellent decision. So please help me welcome Mr. Andrew Hamilton.
I can move in if you want.
Am I high enough?
No, you're.
You're probably tall enough.
You haven't seen our president.
That way we can really see you, Andy.
Yeah.
Well, I figure I've got something, so if tomatoes, I was told at one point there would be tomatoes flying, so I want to make sure I can duck and take cover. So the last time I was here, I think I was wearing a Chiefs uniform, and I had a guy in front of me that kept working on his phone. And I knew from all the clubs that I've been in that the Sergeant at Arms would probably take care of that. So I seized Mr. Palmer's phone and gave it to the Sergeant at Arms. And they didn't really want to argue with me because it was one of the times I was wearing a full uniform and had a sidearm. Dwayne, thank you for telling me that you're videoing this. I took out a bunch of the things so the other Mr. Palmer won't have to worry about all my good stories of when I met him when I was wearing my uniform. And a few others of you in the room, and you know who you are, so I don't need to go through that.
Good thing I don't know you.
So the first thing I wanted to do today was I wanted to say thank you to your club. The service that you provide our community, and I am the Kelso City Manager, but Longview Kelso is kind of a community, Cowlitz County of its own. But I just wanted to say thank you for the service that you provide our community, because you do a very good service for us in a number of ways. And I just wanted to say thank you and let you know that the community does recognize that. My mother is in the Marion, Indiana Club, and I think has gotten about every Lion Award there is. I asked her to give me a couple of highlights, and she refused. So, or I'd be able to tell you that. So he kind of hit, when he sent me and asked for a bio, I felt like sending back, well, I know George. I figured that'd be good enough. A lot of you know me. I spent 34 years in law enforcement, 32 at the city of Kelso. I have been the manager for the last 5 years. He talked about the city manager's roles. Right now, the average is 2.5 years that a manager is in their position. So I've been here going on 6. So I've got somebody fooled. So we'll go with that. I'm married to Noelle McLean, Noelle Hamilton, local attorney. We've been married 27 years. We have 2 children, and on the 18th, I'm supposed to have my 2nd grandchild. So I've got a little boy and a little girl. So, and I've practiced spoiling them rotten. Noelle and I enjoy, we have an RV. We enjoy this part of the country. We both fish. She does a much better job cleaning them, so I allow her to do that for me.
Okay, a lawyer cleaning a fish, now that's a photograph.
She's good at it. You don't want to mess with her when she's got a fillet knife.
You're wise.
So, I've really enjoyed my time here. A lot of you know me. I'm a member of this Eagles Lodge. I'm a member of the American Legion down the street. I was in the Air Force. So veterans projects have always been big in my mind. But I'm going to focus about Kelso. I already got one of the hard questions that I'm sure I'll just go ahead and give everybody. So I was told there would be questions, so we'll cover that when we get to it. I think we're very blessed right now in Kelso. We've done a bunch of things at a cost not to our citizens, but to the grants and the items that are out there.
In the last year, Tamo, if you haven't been to Tamo lately, it's gorgeous, kind of like Lake Sacagawea, just gorgeous. And we do a lot with that. In the last year, we turfed through a partnership with LCC and Kelso High School and Kelso Girls Softball. Turfed the fields over there. They're now working on the outfields. They're also working on doing a batting cage for the girls. Kelso Youth, we're talking to them about turfing their area. Rotary lights in the park. How many people went over there and saw the Christmas lights? Yeah, very great. My hometown, Marion, Indiana, where I told you my mother was a club member, is basically called Christmas City. And through their park, they had this called the Walkway of Lights, because it goes from one end to the other. Ours is more circular. So for the last 30 years, I've been pitching this to every city manager that was at Kelso. I couldn't get anybody to take it. For some reason, the last guy said yes, and that was me. And so with the Rotary and PUD, we've made that Rotary Lights in the Park. It's a joint venture. All the money that's raised from it, a large portion of it, if not all of it, goes to the Warm Neighbors program here at PUD. So just another great program. A lot of you have heard about the Hazel Street overpass, where we're going to take a bridge over the railroad track. It's right down on Hazel Street. If you don't know where Hazel Street is, it's down on the south end. It'll land on the other side by the golf course, where Garnett's got the 52 houses going in there. That'll open us up for emergency egress. Anytime a train came through, we always had a problem. And it'll also open up some pockets down there for housing. Everyone knows the one thing we come up with on any of the critiques are that we need more housing. So they're breaking ground on that. We've already given the contract to the contractor, so that's a good deal that'll be starting. We entirely redid the train station. And that train station is kind of a community asset in itself. I mean, if I ask how many people have either put somebody on the train or got somebody on the train, I'd probably see a number of hands. And Kelso foots the bill for all that. Longview doesn't, county doesn't, Port doesn't. I think it should be more, and we would like to move it like the airport, where it's a multi-board, because it is in fact a community asset. And the city of Kelso, which is one of the poorer of the big three, probably shouldn't be the one that has to pay for all of that. With the airport, we've had great things. We just hired a new airport manager. The airport's now ran by City of Longview, City of Kelso, Cowlitz County, and the Port of Longview. So I think that's very fair, and that we run it in that way because of it being a community resource. We've done a number of traffic light upgrades, a number of safe routes to school upgrades up around Huntington, throughout the city of Kelso. So the question I got was, you're not going to put in those bike lanes, are you? And the answer is, unfortunately, yes, I am. Because DOT, if you want the money, then you have to play by their rules. And they're the ones that are incorporating those bike lanes that, yes, we see very few bikes in. So,
Do we have to have them crossing like they do?
yeah, Hudson Street's a good example out here. You go straight for a while, and then you take a jog, and then the bike lane merges into the turn lane, and
Or it's wider than your car.
that's right. That's wider than the car. That's true. So we do get, public input from time to time, and that has been one that we've really gotten a lot on. I think most of you know that the American Legion over in Kelso's needed a paint job for many years. Problem there is it's lead-based paint, and it's got some nice hot asbestos in the building. So about a year ago, when I was only had one engineer, I wrote an EPA grant for an assessment. We've been through that. We are also assessing the old Kopi metals as you go down to the golf course where the metal place used to be. to get that ready to get it cleaned up and possibly put housing in there from the nonprofit that owns it. So these EPA things take some time, and we've worked with that. We took care of the underground storage tanks that we had at our pump stations and at our airport. Got those all in compliance with EPA and got grant money for that. I've talked to you about the train depot, the roof. We replaced the roof, did the soffits, cleaned some things up, got some doors put back. So again, just a great project. The Catlin Hall, the senior, commonly known as the Senior Center, you've probably seen that we re-sided it, re-roofed it. That was from ARPA money, money that was given to us during COVID to renovate things and to get people working in the community. So we did that. We also built a new pump house for the spray park. And that spray park, which again is more of a community asset, we don't stop little kids there and say, "Is your address Kelso?" No, I'm sorry, you can't go in. No, it's open to everybody. But the problem is that we were basically flushing down the drain 2 million cubic feet of potable water every time we opened that for a season. And it was at the end of the life. So we went out through the ARPA funds and got the ability to get a recirculation cleaning system there at Catlin Spray Park. So we're going to be able to open that up towards mid or to the end of this year to the public, as long as the supply issue doesn't get us again. We had everything setting in a yard when they had all the ice storms in Florida, and all of it was totaled out. So we had to go back out and re-find it from the vendors. So the pump house is there, that's all done. And then probably the last project I'm going to talk about is the Cowlitz and West Main project. And that is where across from Red Leaf, where the road was moved there at Cowlitz and West Main, we're going to put in a 6,000 square foot library and a 3,000 square foot community building. Now, Kelso, for a while, the library's been in the mall. We haven't owned our own place. We haven't had a front door. We haven't had good parking. We haven't had all those things. Besides that, we're going to put on top of those a little mixed use is what they call it. And we're going to have 40 housing units on top of the library in 2 floors and on top of the community center on 2 floors. So this has all been funded now. The full funding for the build out of the library has not been done, or the community center. But the way these grants work is as soon as you get like 70% of the way there, then people think, oh, this is really going to happen. So we'll put money in it now. So we're sure of all the asks that we have out there. If we get half of them, we'll be more than able to complete the library. My librarian is very energetic and has been working on this since we told him about it, and he loves it. So we're doing that with CAP, and also CAP's going to have the management with HOSWA here in Longview. So that again will go to their mainly studio and 1-bedroom apartments above there. So they're going to break ground on that towards the end of the year. So we just heard that through tax increment financing, we got the money 2 weeks ago. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk to you about. I'll open it up and try to answer questions. Thank you for not throwing tomatoes at me. I appreciate that. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. We don't want to embarrass you, that's
For those who are wondering, I have a phone going off.
I have a question.
It's been a while back. I had seen something in the paper about they were doing a survey or a questionnaire or something about changing down by the freeways and possibly changing all those lights and reconfiguring them into roundabouts. Are you guys still looking at doing that? And I hope not.
So that is a WASDOT program. They've given us about 3 or 4 options, and I think those are on the WASDOT site. Final decision on that will probably be up to the council. It's not been decided yet. And I will tell you, I spend a little time down in a retirement community called the Villages in Florida, where there must be hundreds of roundabouts. And if those old people can navigate them, I think we can learn how to do it.
Isla will quit driving.
Yeah, maybe not Hal. That's all right. I agree with that.
That's true.
Go ahead.
Do we all get a golf cart? Regarding the amount of money we give in our tabs, $20 each time, to the city for the streets, that we don't see much going on with street improvement. So what's on the agenda? Is it starting now?
So we're doing about $1 million a year in street renovations. So if you have an arterial road that is high use and all that, there's grants out there for that. There's not grants for just normal streets in the communities. When I became the city manager, I inherited about $50 million worth of needs that needed to be done. Some in sewer, some in water, and definitely in streets. And there are places, we have had before council a review. We've had a specialist come in. They're saying we need about 12 million every year to put in there, and I just don't know where we're going to get that. The council makes the direction on that and decides what they want us to do. But for the last 2 years, I know we've spent more than $1 million in rebuilding roads.
Thank you. Andy? Hello. I have to
Probably don't need it.
Do you know anything about the paving of roads, that sort of thing? Because I've lived up off of Castleman and I go Fisher's Lane. That road has been paved like 3 times in the last 8 years that I've been here. My basic thought process is if you do it right the first time, then it won't have to keep getting done over and over and over.
Leave it to Isla to say.
It needs to be done again.
Well, I'm glad that your question is in the city of Longview, not the city of Kelso. And I'm sure that Jennifer Wills will have an answer. No, the short end of the answer is we have a number of aquifers and things here that run under. We have low soil, high water content. So depending on where you're actually at, sometimes they're doing the best they can do with it, unless you're doing that $5 million fix. And they don't always have that $5 million fix. They're trying to get to that. Now, I don't know if Castleman is part of the Columbia Heights, but I know that they got a large grant to redo a lot of that.
The back part.
Don't you
down
own half
Fisher's
of
Lane.
Fisher's Lane?
Yeah, that's the back part that goes down Fisher's Lane off of Castleman, that goes down around and into Fisher's Lane.
I
out
own to the railroad tracks there.
Yeah, that part.
You're on the other side.
Yes, I am, but I still travel that road every day.
Sure.
Sorry.
That's a run.
I'll get it to me.
So Andy, you mentioned that overpass is gonna go over on Hazel Street, and did you just verify that that is in progress and the funds are there and they are gonna start construction?
It's fully funded. The contract hasn't been awarded to the contractor. That means it's going to happen.
Okay, so has the bid's gone out?
The bids are done. It's already been awarded to the contractor.
Oh, great.
So we have a contractor that will be starting, I believe, like the 1st of March.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
So it's
Thank you.
it's a fully paid for $25 million project. Got time for one last question. Uh-oh.
There's John.
Quick question regarding the new apartments going above the new library. What kind of prerequisites are you going to have for the tenants there, I think?
They'll be low income, disabled, that type.
I want on the list.
There you go, Sharon.
I know, right? That's why I just said I want on the list.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Andy, John Claypool. I just wanted to thank the Pioneer Lions for what they do, we do. I want to thank you for your service to Kelso, especially as a police officer, all these years. I admire you for it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We've got a great group of law enforcement officers here, no matter what color uniform they wear, whether it be Longview Police, Cowlitz County Sheriff, State Patrol, the CASPIC, it's called the Cowlitz County Police and Sheriff's Association, is very strong. I was a member of that for 10 years. So yeah, we're very blessed to have the people we have. And the people that are currently running our departments are top notch. Sheriff Thurman, Chief Huda, Chief Fletcher now from Kelso, and we got the ability to have Chief Dar Kirk, who's now running the 911 center. So we're very blessed in the position we're at. Again, thank you very much. I'm going to turn it back over to George.
Take a quick advantage, President George. Andy, having been elected official, I developed extreme admiration for those who actually report to elected officials. Serving the public is tough enough, but doing it to elected officials, and my hat's off to you, and admire the way that you have persevered and excelled the way you're doing. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We also have for you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you being here, and as our appreciation, we have for you one of our lovely mugs.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We really appreciate you being here.
This might end up.
My turn?
Yep, go ahead.
All righty.
I'm going to get it right now.
Acting President Sharon, a very, 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 very happy dollar.
Oh, boy.
That should be $5.
Daughter Stephanie passed her boards, and now the Pattersons, along with the Pipers, have a nurse in the house. So, I already get the lectures. Dad this, Dad that. Yes, it's great. She's riding high right now. She's having a great time.
Excellent. Lion, Cindy. It's really for the Wendy Pass.
I have $2 happy and 1 cent. Acting President Sharon, fellow Lions and guests. I have $1 happy. The box this is from him. The best of Southwest Washington is out, and our office got nominated by KT Collision. This happy dollar is I got nominated for the best agent of Southwest Washington. Voting starts tomorrow, so you know I have everything. And my sad dollar is I miss Mr. B. Rest in peace.
Thank you. Lion, I'm sorry. Lion, you wait.
Acting President Sharon, fellow Lions and guests, I've got a happy $2. Gratitude for John Siri filling in for me and running the camera while I was gone.
That's our report, right? Lion hat.
Acting Sharon President. Lions and guests. Here we got $5. Nothing really momentous to be happy about this week. So it's going to be a short 7-minute announcement. Oh.
Short.
Brief. Fireside chat. There you go. Just happy to be here.
Lion Judy, what are you doing? You have money for me? All right. Oh, that'll do. Lion Judy.
Maybe you don't get changed.
Is it Sharon? And, fellow Lions, this is my second meeting in a row.
And she paid her dues.
The other, my cohort, Acting President Sharon, fellow Lions and guests, I put in a happy dollar. Here at the Eagles, we had a Super Bowl party on Sunday, and they had a contest for chowder, chili, soup, and I won first place for my Supa Toscana. It's an Italian soup.
It was good.
Really good.
It was very good.
A button thing. All that good.
Mary, she won bragging rights.
Bragging rights. Okay, pass this your governor Mark, Bill.
Acting President Sharon, fellow Lions and guests, first a sad dollar, picked up the lung crud. I know a lot of you have been going around. Little side note to that, I have sleep apnea, so I have a machine, but I also have a health condition that does not allow me to take decongestants or antihistamines. And it's really hard to sleep when you have to wait till things dream just right to get your machine going again. Plus, I have a dog with kidney issues that gets up every 2 hours. So needless to say, for 4 nights, I got about 3 hours sleep. Second dollar is actually a happy dollar. I really enjoyed a post by Miss Cindy on Facebook. She talked about how we're coming up at a time when men are always right on February 29th, 30th, and 31st.
Yes, absolutely.
So not only did I laugh at that, I pointed out, so that means I'm right once every 4 years. And she said, might's a big word. So, yeah, okay. Probably that. Quote of the week is from Deborah McGuire. We never really know the path that others might be facing, but a little kindness can make a difference to their clients.
So this is the dollar caller, Sharon. Harry Hinthorn was not a lion, but he was involved in, he was. Okay. I would like to announce that he passed away here last week. His service will be over at Kelso on April the 5th. And I would invite all the members to attend. He was a great guy. He was involved in a lot of stuff, fish trawling, and just a great person. And so my heart goes out to him and his family, and I hope you all can attend. Thank you.
Where was that again?
Where are we going?
What time?
What time? 1 o'clock.
Thank you.
Yeah, more updates later.
Acting President Sharon, fellow Lions and guests, couple happy bucks. A few weeks ago, went on a cruise with the kids, my in-laws, and my nieces and nephews. We didn't lose anybody, but we get on a bus, a plane, a boat with a bajillion people. What happens when you get home?
You get sick.
So it turns into like a 2-week vacation. That was a lot of fun, but also there goes my perfect attendance award. That was it, yeah.
Who's counting?
Hey, Bob. Hey, Bob.
President Sharon, fellow Lions. Yes, last week I did have COVID. Didn't have it very bad, but I did have one bad dream that made me think of this place. I was loading up the wagon with Rick on the 3rd of July, and I said to Rick, oh damn, I forgot to order the hamburger or the bun.
make a note to make sure he orders it.
Or calling the name.
Right?
Don't let it happen.
Acting President Sharon, fellow Lions. I hear my $5 happy dollars. So I guess I'm 5 times as happy as I usually am when I get here. I am just glad to be back. I've been gone for, 3 weeks or so. Something like that. I was gone. Yeah, I was gone for a while. Went to Mexico, Baja, the Baja half. And it was colder down there than I expected it to be. And their casinos down there, they don't put heaters in them, you know. So in the mornings, I was close to frozen. So I figured that after sitting in a lawn chair on the beach looking at the Sea of Cortez for 2 weeks, I'd be better off going home and being cold than staying down there. So I'm just very, very happy to be home and back with the office. There's not a lot to do down there in retirement communities, but sit on your butt, and I don't like to do that, so.
At least up here you can drink water. Ask if you're Governor Maryland.
Acting President Sharon, fellow Lions and Guests, I want to talk about my family.
When I was 16, I did a thing in Mexico. You didn't drink the water.
We have a 7-year-old granddaughter that I think is going to follow in my musical footsteps. She's 7, and she joined a choreography singing group with her school. Had to sign a contract to promise she'd show up for practices and whatnot. So in May 7, we have a concert at school to attend, and she has 2 solos. And her dad, who loves to do a little acting, has a part as well. So that was exciting. There's another happy dollar. We're looking to a future baseball star, I think. The 11-year-old Asher Patterson is following in Dad's footsteps, and they've got him in a special elite group. So you know that means travel and all those good things. So,
Is he a shortstop?
he is a catcher, and his mama is 5'10", so does that tell you something?
Not like Grandpa.
And the other dollar is also family. Oh, the newlyweds are coming over on the 15th, this Saturday, coming to Seattle. And they haven't met all of the family, so we've got our Ohio couple coming to celebrate their love. Okay?
Oh, hey.
Way down here.
Yeah. Oh, PCC now. Here we go.
President Sharon, fellow Lions and guests. Well, last week I told you about my son-in-law's successful surgery. Friday afternoon, he got to go home. Didn't I say President Sharon already?
Yeah.
President Sharon, fellow guests of Eric and Greg. No. Well, he had a great weekend until last night. And he started losing everything that was inside of his body, and so they had to take him back in the hospital this morning, and we just got a word that they think he has a virus. And where do you catch viruses when you spend 4 days in the hospital?
At the hospital.
ICU, yeah. So we're feeling good now about that. And unfortunately, I'll miss the board meeting on Thursday. Going up to see my daughter in Paulsbo, and then look at a real estate investment in Squim.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because I hear from Mark that Squim is a great place to invest.
So it's sunshine.
Yeah. When I was there in the early 90s, yeah. And it looks like sequin if you ever look at how it's spelled.
Arena.
Lion, great. Great. I noticed that, you're messing me up here. Lion, great.
Did you look for it?
He didn't look for it. He didn't look very good.
He tried to look for it.
Acting President Sharon, fellow Lions and guests, I have a happy dollar and a sad dollar. Sad dollar for Gary Henthorn. He was my best friend for
60-some years. He was the best man at my wedding, and I was the best man at his wedding. So it's tough. But on the happy side, Marilyn was talking about her grandson. I'm going to talk about I can talk about all 4 of my grandkids, but this is just going to be about Drew, my middle boy, 12. He was on the club team around Northwest playing soccer, doing a really good job, really works hard at it. And he was on the Washington Olympic development team this year.
Oh, nice.
And from there, he made the regional team, which is a top 15 kids in 13 states. And they just played in the national tournament. There's 5 regions, and the West Coast boys won it. 6-0, 5-0, and 5-2 in the final game.
Wow.
And from that, Drew was picked to be on the national team.
All right.
So he's going to be in an international tournament in Orlando again. And I swore I'd never have to go to Orlando or Florida, period. I wasn't interested in that, but now I'm going to have to go. I'm going to go. So, wish him luck. Thank you.
Hi, Greg. Yeah, the other Greg. Hi, Greg.
President, acting Sharon, so I guess, a couple bucks today. First one, very, very happy. How about those Philadelphia Eagles? Then the other is kind of a mixed dollar. It's a birthday dollar. I turned 39 for the 40th time.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay, thank you. That might go. We did need that cleared up.
Are we gonna? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, my goodness. Another guest already on. Hold your face. The other Greg. Forgot you had a mic.
Hi, fellow Lions. I have a sad dollar, a very sad dollar. I think most of you know that my Durango broke down, which used to be Raya's vehicle, so I was really sad. Well, my red car broke down, so now we have no car. I have no idea how we're going to fix it or what we're going to do, so please pray for us.
Okay. I would like to say, George, you're not the program, but that's not really true. It's my visit.
Acting President and y'all. Just a happy dollar for winning the Joker draw today.
We're winning the Joker. I love optimism, however. Just happy, but. Okay, Secretary Leroy. Obviously, we haven't drawn yet.
Acting President Sharon, Bill Lane, and guests. Yeah, I've got a couple of happy dollars. We're going to start off with, which one's the best one to start off with? Well, this is kind of the sad one. My daughter and her husband had moved to Ellensburg over the weekend, so they're freezing their butts off over there.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll be able to get back over this way sometime soon. But then the happy dollar about those two. Grace is my youngest daughter, and we followed her career through all the stuff that she goes through and does and everything. And now she's decided to take on another career. And, she just finished her master's in social work, and she's got that established, and she's got a business going on with that. But along the way, they decided they want to have a child. And so she just let us know that she's pregnant. Maybe sometime this summer. And then they had she did this really strange gender review thing, which is a big thing these days.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a boy. So we will have 4 grandchildren, and 2 of them are boys. So I'm happy for them. That's just really cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. It's always 25-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah. My hair doesn't work real well in Owensburg.
Is that everything? Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to move on to committee chair announcements. And Cheryl?
Past president, announcement is
There's a microphone somewhere. Use your mom voice.
Okay, this announcement is for all past presidents. The past president's dinner meeting to develop the slate of officer candidates for 2025-2026 is coming up. It will be 2 weeks from tonight at Yan's Chinese on the Longview Kelso border. That's at the bottom of the Causeway Bridge. For people who have been here a long time, you already know where that place is. At 6 o'clock, I'm thinking 6 to probably no later than 8. We'll have dinner there. They do not take checks, but they do take cold hard cash and those little plastic things that you can pull out of your wallet to pay for. So please plan, if you're a past president, please plan to try to be there. We need you all.
February 25th?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. 2 weeks from tonight, that would be February 25th.
We have to do the math.
6 p.m. at Yan's in the side room. They do have a lounge, folks, so, you know, if you're inclined to imbibe, you can get something there. Okay, thank you.
You want that in the roar?
Yes, please, put that in the roar.
Okay, got it.
Thank you, Cheryl. And I would like to remind all the board members that we have a board meeting this Thursday at Life Mortgage, and that is at 8 a.m. And also, we have our evening meeting for this month, and it is going to be at Ashtown Brewing at 6 p.m., and that is on February 20th. I think that's all the announcements that I have, unless there's anybody else that has anything. Lion Pat?
Acting President Sharon, call items and guests. As you all know, you've received a love note from me and a bunch more have come out the mail. I want to be really clear about this. I am so cheap, and seriously so cheap. 144 members, 71 of you receive these things by hand. Okay? Because, again, stamps 72 cents a piece. It adds up pretty quick. So we just spent $68 on the rest of them to come in. Do be at the board meeting if you'd like to see an analysis of what your club did in 2024. In fact, most all the bugs worked out. I got a couple more things fixed tomorrow morning, I saw it. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the amount of good that you all put out into the world last year. And again, thanks for sending those checks in. I do appreciate it.
All right.
Darlene, how is the plastics going? Do we have anything going on with that?
No. They did, last week, they collected some, I don't know what the poundage is. So we have at least probably 400 pounds so far. We'll do it again next week at Grocery Outlet on Wednesday. That'll be announced next Tuesday.
Okay.
So, I mean, we're there. It's a pretty easy project, so then we just have to turn it in and stuff, so.
Awesome, thank you.
What time? Ask you what time. What time on Wednesday?
Darlene, what time were you going to meet next Wednesday?
11 o'clock, I think. I don't know if I'll be there or not, but some of the guys will be there because I have
Okay.
health issues going on, so we'll see.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. I think that is everything for the announcements. So everybody get out your blue tickets. And we have 636.
Yes.
9.
Yes. Yep.
9.
Yes. No.
9.
No.
Woo.
Somebody cheated.
Check that ticket.
Dick. Lane Dick. Okay.
Double check that ticket.
Okay, we're double checking, Dick.
Better be right, Dick.
Does it say 999?
We already went too far.
I guess that was it.
Okay, here we go, pal.
Okay, and while he's drawing that, let's get out our red tickets. And we have 728, 13, 9, 6. 396.
John Siri.
Oh, okay, there we go. John Searing, where would you like the money to go today? White
Well,
cane.
the Ace of Hearts, just to let you know.
And Dick got the Ace of Hearts.
Way to go. Way to go, Siri. Too bad.
And Pat, did you get that white cane? White cane?
Good job. I mean, oh, sorry. Put the joker in last.
It's John Searing.
Yeah.
Okay, Jane, or Darlene?
Okay, here we go.
Acting President Sharon and fellow Lions guests. First off, because Greg forgot to announce it, there is a sight and hearing meeting tomorrow night at 6:30 at Canterbury.
You know, he's a year older now. I think his age is his brain, his memory is starting to go.
Okay, first pick on the desserts goes to Karen.
Oh.
And whatever's left over goes to Isla.
Oh.
Isla. Oh my goodness.
All right, that is everything that we have for today. I wish you all a very good week, and we hope for no snow later on in this week. We will see you next week.